inchworm. We've cut him out with a torch. Well, let me back up. We drew him on a piece of paper. We traced that onto an overhead projector sheet. We put the overhead projector sheet up on the overhead and cast it onto the piece of steel. This is 1/8 inch mild steel. Drew it on with soapstone, cut it out with the, well, we're using propane oxygen torch. And that leaves it pretty rough. And now I went back through and grinded it with a flap disc. And that leaves it smoother, but not smooth. And then I'm going to go back through and just with a piece of sandpaper knock off anything that will cut anybody, because this is going to be for little kids. We certainly don't want any sharp edges on it. And so we're going to just go right back through and do that. If we feel any great big stuff, we'll get the grinder back out. I feel a few big ones right there. But we want this to be smooth to the touch and not rough at all. So when we paint it, it'll be smooth. I feel a couple of big chunks right here. And all of this is just details, getting it to be smooth and clean. So that we can paint it. Now, I did not cut out the center of this. I debated about that over and over and over again. This is going to be a piece of public art. If we cut out the center of this, it looks much more like an inchworm, but somebody can come up and just grab the top of this and just bend it right over if it's just this little bit and that little bit. With it being all of this, they may still be able to bend it, but they'll have to work a little harder. We may reinforce some of this by putting an outside piece of steel on this to thicken this edge a little bit, maybe right on top of it or right beside it. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this feels once we get it more done. Anyway, back to sanding. Alright, we're going to see what our inchworm will look like on his base over here. Let's make sure we can get y'all can see it all. We'll try him out. What's that as he grows? I guess. made this rebar just could look like a stick, and so that's what I want him to crawl on. And we're going to weld him on over here like that, more or less straight there. And the plan is to bend him around and weld him on over there so he's kind of a bent like a U shape, so it gives him a little more dimension. And it'll put him under tension, I hope, and that way when you hit him it'll make a different sound. Hopefully it'll ring. That's what we're going after anyway. But we made this to kind of look like a stick, so next job is to stick him on. Alright, this is another musical art piece for our children's music garden at the Southern Virginia Botanical Garden. It's so realistic it's got a real bug growing on him here. Looks like a ladybug. But this is an inchworm. We don't have his eye quite yet, but this is his most of him painted. And this is still wet, so we're not going to beat on him. But this bottom parts here are the rebar that you saw on the video, me bending, forging hot. And then this is an 1/8 inch piece of flat stock. And I cut that with the torch, which we showed you. And then when we welded this on, I welded on one side, and this rebar was curved. You know, I welded it together so it had a pretty good curve on it. Of course, this was straight flat. So I welded on that side first, and then I pried it back. Am I telling you right? I think so. I welded on that side first, and then I pried this thing back around and stuck him down over this other side, and that put this little bit of a bend in him. And we did that trying to strengthen this thing. If it was just straight flat, I'm afraid somebody just come up and just start racking on it and bend it. But since we put this little bit of an arc in it and put this under tension, it'll be much more difficult to break this off now. But we welded it on there pretty good. And again, Steve Thomas has done our artwork on this. Wonderful, wonderful artist, and we appreciate him a whole lot. These will be installed next week, I hope, weather permitting, at the Botanical Garden. But this is our inchworm that we've shown you how to make. Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed watching us make this inchworm for the Southern Virginia Botanical Garden Music Garden, the Children's Music Garden. We would love for you to come by and visit the garden, visit with the Virginia School of Traditional Arts if you're in the area, South Boston, Virginia. Our contact information will be in the description below, and we'd love to hear from you. We offer lots of classes if you're interested in sculptural art or knife making or blacksmithing, traditional blacksmithing, or leather work or survival. We teach lots and lots of different types of classes. Love to talk with you and set you up a class if you're in the area. If you happen to be in Southern Virginia, do check out the Southern Virginia Botanical Garden in South Boston, Virginia. I'm going to post a link to their website so you can find them. And do like and subscribe. And we have two other videos that describe other creations that we've made. Check those out. We did a sunflower sculpture and a mushroom sculpture, all for this music garden. Thank you. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I invite y'all to see the flower structure, the sunflower structure at the Southern Virginia Botanical Garden in South Boston, Virginia. If you're interested in taking classes on how to learn to do blacksmithing and do sculpture work, or knife making, or leather making, or cast iron cooking, um, survival, all kinds of classes we offer here at the Virginia School of Traditional Arts, check out our description below. Check out our information in description below, and give us a call. We'll be glad to set something up if you're in Southern Virginia and want to check out the music garden, the children's music garden at the Southern Virginia Botanical Gardens. Feel free to do so. I'll put a link to their website as well. Hope you all have enjoyed it.